So today I will be presenting on the artist Frida Kahlo. So, a little bit about Frida Kahlo. She was born July 6th of 1907, and she died 47 years later, at the age of 47, of course, July 13th, 1954. A little bit about her. She was 6 years old when she contracted polio, and she was bedridden for quite some time. And in high school, she met Diego Rivera. Now, they didn't start like a romantic relationship until later on, but this is when she met him, and he had a huge impact on her. She even told a friend, "You see that man? I'm going to marry him." And her friend was like, "What?" As any good friend should say when her other friend points out a much older guy. And at the age of 18, she was involved in a very almost fatal bus crash where she almost died, and she was on bed rest for a while. This was when she started painting a lot. So her parents made this device to help her paint while she was on bed rest in the hospital trying to get better. And it was during this time she came out with so many amazing paintings. And a lot of her paintings were inspired by this pain that she went through, that she would go through for the rest of her life with this chronic pain from the bus crash. And at the age of 22, she actually married Diego Rivera, that old guy that she met when she was in high school. But, she married him. Apparently she loved him. And then she died at the age of 47 after her art had been premiered at a really cool museum. So, Frida made over 100 paintings in her life, and almost half of them were self-portraits. Now, this doesn't really mean that she was very self-centered. This meant, she had amazing artistry with a lot of beautiful symbols in it. This one, in particular, is titled Self-Portrait with a Necklace of Thorns. Really cool portrait, a lot of beautiful symbolism. She was born and she did die in Mexico. And so there's a lot of imagery of her Mexican heritage. She was always very proud of her Mexican heritage. And here we have the monkey, which is a symbol of her, and we've got this bird, which is also kind of a symbol of her. She loved to use a lot of symbols in her artwork. And in this one in particular, you'll notice she's got all these thorns around her neck, but on top her face is just super calm. It's almost like this just doesn't faze her anymore, like she's used to it, and it's a metaphor for her chronic pain. She feels like it's very visible, but she just has to stay calm about it, and she's very good at coping with the pain. So here's another painting she did. This was around the time that she was first married to Diego Rivera, and it's called Two Women. She uses a lot of vibrant colors. Diego kind of inspired a lot of that. This one is called Without Hope. This one she made while she was being force-fed food, and really it was during a procedure that kind of was one of the many procedures she had in her lifetime, trying to get rid of this chronic pain. And at one point she just didn't even want to eat, and this is kind of an illustration of how she felt, all of this food that is just pureed into this gross pink mush that she's supposed to eat. And she calls this Without Hope because she had no appetite and did not want to eat anything, but she had to keep her strength and to live. This one is called Me and My Parrot. She, because of the multiple surgeries she had, of course the bus crash, and the chronic pain, she was unable to have children, so she felt a very strong connection to her animals. And she had quite a few of them, along with her favorite animal was deer, obviously. And this one, she actually makes herself the deer. And this was after a surgery that she was very disappointed about because it was supposed to relieve her chronic pain, but it didn't. And she just felt like, the wounded deer, as the title would suggest. And yeah, but she ended up giving this painting to a couple of her friends who really liked it. And this one is called Roots. Since she was unable to have children, she wanted to kind of give life to something else, so she was like, oh, I want to give life to the earth. So this was kind of you can see the red ribbons, that's supposed to be her blood. She's trying to nourish the earth in some way. And that's called Roots. This one is called The Two Fridas. Now, her marriage was not exactly the happiest all the time. There was really a lot of affairs that happened on both sides of this relationship. She had affairs, he had multiple affairs. They weren't really faithful to one another, and eventually they got a divorce. This painting is one she painted after the divorce had first gone through, and she shows on the right side, she's wearing the traditional Mexican ancestry outfit, and she's obviously heartbroken. You can see her heart is on the outside, and she's obviously very heartbroken. And then there's the more modern one where it's literally her heart's bleeding onto this very white dress, and it's just very saddening for her. This one is called The Broken Column. This one really is a spiritual triumph through the pain. Even though she's showing the viewer her situation, she's still triumphing through the physical pain. So you can see, she's got her back brace from the car crash and, the chronic pain. You can see, her spine, which is the column, which is represented with the column, is just broken. She's got needles everywhere from the multiple surgeries, and there's, a hospital bed sheet she's taking off. And she's got tears in her eyes, but she's still amazingly strong and resilient through all of this, and I think that's just so admirable about her. So if you'd like to learn some more about Frida Kahlo, here are some things I found rather interesting. The first two are websites that I found really helpful, and then the other one is the Pinterest picture of her in the bed. So yeah, there's that. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good day.